says you need to go to the Gulf of Mexico or one of the coasts across the United States in order to have a ton of water fun. Well, I don't say that because we have 13 local spots right here in the Kansas City metropolitan area that are going to make you have a ton of water fun, and we are going to dive into this, and I'm going to cover just briefly each one of them, and so you're not going to want to miss this video. If we haven't met before, my name is Anita Cordell. I make videos about all things Kansas City. I cover what it's like to eat here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here. I cover things like the weather. I cover recreation and all things that you can do here in the Kansas City metropolitan area. I am also a licensed real estate agent, and I help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest right here in our amazing city. I'm also a team leader of the Yellow Brick Group, and we help people all across the United States as well relocate here. And the reason why is because there's no place like home. Let's dive into this video and cover 13 fun places that you can take your family and friends to and have a lot of water fun. Now, there are different types of water places. What I am not going to be covering are all of the spray grounds here in Kansas City because there's so many of them. I'm just sticking to the local water parks. You'll be sure and want to watch the whole entire segment of each water park because I am going to be answering some questions that you might find interesting and that might be helpful for you before you go. I'm going to be answering 3 different questions on every single local park, and all those 3 questions are going to be the same question for every single park. The 3 questions that I'm going to answer for you on each local park is, can I actually go to this local park even though I don't live in that city? The second thing I'm going to answer for you is, what is the park about? I'm going to briefly talk about some of the features to it, and if there's something wow factoring about the actual park, then I'll mention that as well. And the third thing that I'm going to talk about on each park is if there's something that you need to know specifically about that park. Also keep in mind that most of the parks allow for young children to get in free, but there is a couple that do charge for smaller children. So you're going to want to make sure that you check the websites or call up to the local parks if you have any questions about that. Also, most of them do have a senior discount. When I'm going to talk about the residency here, I want to just cover one thing, that if you're going to go to one of these parks or you're bringing a guest along, they're going to want to know where you live. So they're going to want some kind of identification. And if you're an adult, a lot of them require 2 pieces of identification. One of them is going to be a photo ID, so that would be a simple, driver's license or some kind of ID. The second thing would be some kind of bill. Now, when we went, we were able to pull up our online banking, and that showed our residency. That is another thing that they might be able to accept as well. But utility bills or anything of that nature, you can pull up the second proof of residency. Some of them require 2, some of them require 1. It just is going to depend on the location. Now, before I share with the list, I wanted to let you guys know that these are not in any specific order other than alphabetical order. Now, I want to invite you to go to the comments section below. I want to hear which one is your favorite, and I want to hear which ones that you haven't gone to yet. So maybe I'll learn a little bit more about what you put in your comments, whether you have or haven't gone to some place, what's your favorite. So I invite you to write in the comments section below, and when people watch these videos, they do read the comments, and so it helps other people who are viewing this video and who are viewing my channel as well. And be sure and like, subscribe, and follow this video. My contact information is below with a link that goes right to my calendar, so if you ever have any questions or want to talk about real estate, be sure and click on that link and you'll go right to my calendar and we will have a conference call. Now let's get into making a splash in Kansas City at our local water parks. The first place that I'm going to feature is the Adventure Oasis. It's located in Independence, Missouri. As far as residency is concerned, anybody can go any day, and they do have a specific price for residency versus non-residency. The price of residency for a day pass is $10, and the price of a non-resident is $15. As far as features are concerned, this place is fantastic. It's got a large lap pool. It's even got a diving area. It's got a huge lazy river, 3 slides. There's an area for the little ones, and then there's 3 slides with that. There are plenty of chairs and shade for you when you bring your family and friends. One of the things that I continually hear about when it comes to this specific local park is that there are lifeguards everywhere. And what that means for a guest is they just feel safer, they say. They feel like there's somebody always watching and making sure that everyone is safe, and that they feel more secure when there's a lot of lifeguards around. And this is one of the feedbacks that I hear a lot. One more thing to note about this local park is that it's really geared more towards the littler kids from what I've heard, but it's still a great place to bring your family and have a lot of fun. One more thing to note is if you are 13 years or younger, you are going to need to be accompanied by at least somebody who is 16 or older. The next local water park on my list is Black Bob Bay, and it is located in Olathe, Kansas. As far as residency is concerned, they do serve the Olathe area. However, you are more than welcome to come and have a day pass if you would like. Residents on day passes are $10 and non-residents are $15. The features of Black Bob Bay include raft water slides, a lazy river, a shallow water play structures, a dive well that includes 2 1-meter diving boards and 2 3-meter diving boards, and there's a 50-meter pool and a baby pool. As far as other details are concerned, you can purchase a splash pass for just about $55 per person. If you have a membership to the Olathe Community Center, then splash passes actually are included in that membership. Third local water park that I want to cover today is Blue Surf Bay, which is in Blue Springs, Missouri. I have a whole video about Blue Surf Bay, so I'm not going to cover all of the details. You can go and watch that video. But Blue Surf Bay is a brand new water park this year. Now, as far as the residency is concerned, it is open to the public, however, not every day. If you are a resident of Blue Springs, it is open to you every single day. However, the day passes for non-residents are only for Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the price of a day pass for residents is $9, and if you are a non-resident, it's $18. Now, I cover a lot of the features in my videos, so I'm just going to cover a little bit of them. The Blue Surf Bay Water Park is actually an indoor and outdoor water park. It's the most unique water park, I think, in the whole metropolitan area, and the reason why it is connected right to our Blue Springs field house. As far as Blue Surf Bay part of it, it is indoor and outdoor, and it is truly state of the art. It includes a splash pad, a lap pool, there's even a ninja cross course, there's a wellness pool and a spa, and then the outdoor features include cabanas that you can rent, there's a lazy river, a wave ball pool, social pool, a zero depth entry pool for the little kiddos, a slide tower, and a surf simulator. Now, one of the features that I would want to talk about is the slide that is a standing slide is actually, at the time of this video, the world's longest stand-up slide. Here are a few pieces of details that you'll want to know about Blue Surf Bay. The Ninja Cross course that I mentioned earlier is not open every single day. So you're going to need to go online, and there is a calendar that shows when the course is actually open so that you don't get disappointed if you are specifically coming to Blue Surf Bay to try out the Ninja course. Also, if you are 10 and under, you need to be accompanied by an adult. The fourth local park in Kansas City that I want to cover is the Bonner Springs Aquatic Center. Now, as far as residency is concerned, I could not find anything online about pricing or about residency, so I'm going to assume that it is open to the public. Anybody can go. You'll just have to call into there and see if you can find out any information about pricing. I was not successful at that. They may just have it changing every time, or they might have different prices for different days or weekends or whatever. I don't know, but it did appear that you could go even if you were a non-resident. Now, some of the features of the Bonner Springs Aquatic Center include 2 water slides, a 25-meter lap pool, 2 basketball goals, a zero-depth entry pool and a water playground and a spray area. They also have a lily pad walk and they have floatable animals. One of the things that I did want to mention for you to know is to make sure that you go online and look at their calendar, because there are quite a number of times where the pool will actually close at night, whether that's swimming lessons or special events or things that are going on. So you'll just want to make sure that the pool is actually open, because you don't want to get there and get disappointed. They do have some really cool events. One of them is called Doggy Palooza, and this is where you bring your dog and let them have the full entire scope of the pool. The fifth local water park here in Kansas City that I want to share with you is the Gardner Aquatic Center. I could not find anything online as to whether or not there were specific restrictions on non-residency or residency, so I'm under the assumption that whether or not you are a resident or not of Gardner, you are able to come. They did say that day passes are $8. Now, some of the features about Gardner Aquatic Center include a zero depth entry, an active in-water play area, there's a lazy river, multiple water slides, floatable walk, climbing nets, spray grounds, and a tot pool. One of the things that I did note about this that was a little different is that they have an adult-only swim. The sixth water park that I'm going to tell you about here in Kansas City is Sarcopar Aquatic Centers in Lenexa, Kansas. Actually, it used to be called Indian Trails Aquatic Center, but they did this $15 million revamping of it. They changed the name of it because it's located in Sarcopar Trails Park. It's so hard to say. Anyway, as far as the residency is concerned, they do allow for non-residents to come and play at this park. Children 2 and younger get in for free. As far as the price is concerned, residents pay $9 for day pass and non-residents pay $12 for a day pass. Now, as far as the features are concerned, as I mentioned, they just went through a $15 million facelift. This park was built back in 1976, and so it really did need a lot of things replaced and a lot of new renovation done on it. So this year was when it reopened with a new name. There was a lot of research done on what the kids wanted. They interviewed kids in elementary school especially as to what's important, and a lot of the kids actually said that snacks are important. So I think you can go online and look at their menus, but there's some pretty cool features about this new park. There's a zero depth entry pool, of course, with interactive features for the younger kids. There's a dump bucket, there's a lazy river, there's a 25-yard competitive lap pool, and there's deep water alcove and diving boards. And one more thing that is really cool is their speed slide. Now, one thing to note too is they have it actually advertised that if you're gonna go more than 7 times in a year, basically it behooves you to go ahead and just pay for a membership versus paying for the day pass. The 7th local water park here in Kansas City is called Splash Cove at Jim Allen's Aquatic Center, and it's located in Shawnee, Kansas. In fact, there are 2 water parks in Shawnee, Kansas. Splash Cove is one, and I'll cover the other one a little later. One of the unique things about Splash Cove is that it's really geared for children that are 9 and under, so there's no area in this whole entire facility that is deeper than 4 feet. Now, you're probably wondering if you can come, whether or not you're a resident or not, and the answer is yes. If you want to pay for a day pass, residents are $6 and non-residents are $10. If your child is a year or younger, they will pay half the price. Several of the features about Splash Cove that we loved is, of course, the wave pool. My kids loved that. There's a 125-foot full body slide, and then there's a complete interactive playground, and then there's an instructional pool as well. Now, a few things to note about Splash Cove is that there's some really cool events. There's one event called Dive Into Movie Night, and it's a free event. There's another event called Freedom Fling. It's on July 4th every year. And then there's another event called Canines at the Cove. What they do is the day before they drain the pool, they allow for all of your dogs to come and play in the pool before they drain it. And so you'll want to make sure that you check the website, because they do have certain times that your dog can go, and it's based upon their weight. You ought to really check out Splash Cove. It is a lot of fun. The 8th local water park in Kansas City that I want to tell you about is called Springs Aquatic Center, and it's in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, as far as residency, I did not see any difference at all on the pricing online as to whether or not you are a resident or a non-resident. So if you're in the area, you need to stop by this location. One of the cool things about this is it's got a huge competitive lap pool. It also has a spray ground and it has a leisure pool, among other things. Now, one thing to note about this is that due to the fact that some of the rides have restrictions on whether or not you are high enough, the entry to the park is not based on age, it's actually based on height. In my opinion, it makes sense to charge by height because if you're taller, you're going to be able to enjoy some of the features that if you're shorter than 48 inches, you're not going to be able to do. So it makes sense, in my opinion, to be a little less for the shorter guys. The 9th local water park here in the Kansas City metropolitan area is Summit Waves, and that is in Lee Summit. As far as residency is concerned, it is open to the public. Every single day you can go. Residents pay $9 for a day pass and non-residents pay $15. And then if you are under 10 years old, you'll need to be accompanied by an adult of at least someone who is 16. Now, some of the fun features about Summit Waves include a 904-foot action river. There's a body slide, a tube slide, a 6-lane lap pool that includes diving boards, a water playground area featuring mini slides, dump buckets, and more. Now, a couple of things to note that you'll want to watch the calendar for is some fun events. One of them is called Family Fun Night. Another one is Dive-In Movie Night. And then another one is Pooch Paddle. Another thing that you will want to know is that at this time, they do not sell family passes. All of the passes are individual passes. The 10th water park in Kansas City that I want to tell you about is called the Bay Water Park. Now, the address is in Kansas City, Missouri, but it's really close to Longview Lake and on the south side of Kansas City, which is just west of the Lee Summit area. This local water park is open to the general public and kids 1 and under get in free. Some of its fun features include a lazy river, 2 slides, and then there's a new feature. It's called Flow Rider, and this is a surf simulator where you can get in there and try and surf. This park has something literally for everyone, and you've got to go and check it out. Now, things to know on this is tickets at the Bay Water Park are determined by height, not by age. Another thing to note is that this park is really close to Longview Lake, like I mentioned before. And so if you're in the area and you want to have just a weekend full of water fun, you have some options and you won't have to drive very far. The 11th local water park that I want to tell you about is called the Thomas A. Sotark Aquatic Center. And it is located also in Shawnee. It's the second one in Shawnee that I have covered. This one is geared more towards a wide range of ages, unlike Splash Cove that is really more geared towards 9 and under. And the residency is the same as Splash Cove. Anybody can go. If you wanted to go and pay for a day pass, the residents are $6 and the non-residents are $10. Children under 1 get in half price. Also, active and disabled military get in half price as well. Some of the features at Thomas A. Sotark Aquatic Center include there's 2 slides, a lazy river, diving boards, lap lanes, an aqua climb, a full enclosed baby pool area with water playground, and an interactive play area. There's also diving boards and 2 125-foot body slides. One of the things to note about this that's really great is the fact that there is actually an enclosed baby pool area, and it will open a couple of hours before the rest of the pool will open. So it kind of gives mamas an opportunity to take their little kiddos and go and just enjoy some time before the big crowds come. Now, those are all the local water parks. There's only one that's an indoor water park as well, and that's Blue Surf Bay. It's an indoor-outdoor one, but there's 2 more locations that I wanted to mention. Number 12, which is Great Wolf Lodge Resort Hotel. It's in Kansas City, Kansas, and you will want to just experience Great Wolf Lodge. It's a 38,000 square foot indoor water park. So if you are not interested in going outdoors and you just want to have a really fantastic time going indoors, this is the place to go. They keep it a perfect 84 degrees every single day, and you can go and visit this whether you are staying there overnight at the hotel or not. You can buy day passes. Now, if you wanted to experience just the water park area, that is one price. But they also have a package where you can go and experience the arcade games. There's a mini bowling area. There's adventure games. There's a Magic Quest. It's an experience all in of itself. There's also tickets where you can just purchase a half day or a full day. And you'll want to go online to their website because sometimes they have coupons. And speaking of coupons, they do offer coupons all the time for first responders. years. And the last water park, of course, I cannot end this video without mentioning Oceans of Fun. It is 60 acres of summer fun that you have got to just try. There are extreme water slides, and there's the record-breaking Riptide Raceway. It's the largest mat racing water slide in the world. So Kansas City is breaking records right here, because with Blue Surf Bay, we've got longest stand-up slide there, and then at Oceans of Fun we've got the largest mat racing water slide in the world as well. There's also a wave pool, there's a lazy river, there's cabanas to cool down, and there's also some dining options as well. Oceans of Fun is literally one of the biggest water parks in all of the Midwest. So there you have it. Now, I did not mention any spray grounds, and the reason why is because this video would be an hour long. But if you need a quick summer pick-me-up, or you don't really want to go and spend all day long at one of these parks, there are spray grounds all across the metropolitan area where you can just have a quick picnic or spend just an hour or two at a spray ground. They're all over, and so you'll want to look at where you're at and see which one is the closest. But those are also very fun, and we have a lot of them here. And don't forget, go out and live your best Kansas City life.